everyone to a new episode of Black Lightning Amped Up. Tonight's episode, Just and Unjust. Okay, so this one got my attention. A lot happened. The plot is moving. I'm curious. We're moving closer and closer to see who's in those pods. Tobias someone's trying to get Tobias' comeuppance, and let's just start at the beginning. Lynn and Thunder, or I forget her real name, just call her Thunder. Lynn and Thunder are, taking a stroll, casual stroll, going to Walmart, and then next you know, the shooters hop out.
People popping off at Wally World. just emptying gas. When it's buy one, get one free. But to be real, I just want to talk about Lynn for a second.
Okay.
As the story progresses, she's not as strong as I once envisioned her. Like, I get the turmoil of being a mother and all the stuff that she's gone through, but it's like every episode she gets progressively worse and stop being that pillar that you can count on. Like, even Jefferson has stepped up to the role of parenting, where Lynn seems to keep retreating to the goddamn bottle.
So, I'll counter that. I think with Lynn, there's more peaks and highs and lows. And that's okay with me. Like, last week, we got the Lynn that we've been wanting to see for the past 3 or 4 episodes. And this week, she dipped a little bit. I wouldn't say there was a drastic dip, but I'm not really, like, she's not really irking me, or, in other words, her characterization this week does not bother me.
And I'll put it to you like this. We like, and I think it's with the actual plot, we like Lynn when she has stuff to do.
But you also,
if you notice in these episodes we don't like her, she doesn't really have anything to do.
But you guys have completely missed the conversation that she had with Jefferson when she was pretty much like, I regret this. I regret doing this.
Well, I want to say something about that. Well, let me say this real quick. That's been with her character from day one.
Well, she's never openly admitted it like that.
Well, now she is. She's in the shit. we talked about this.
Have you heard this therapy?
Exactly. We talked about this before. Like, they don't talk about shit. They always regress into their vices. And she's doing that again. And I got a feeling that's why she left Jefferson in the first place. Because he was going out there acting wild in the streets, and she was having to patch him up and dodge bullets and shit, and that's how she dealt with it. Mm-hmm. Because, let's be honest, if your wife was super powered, you can't have a rational conversation or argue with her, she would murder your ass. and that's not to say Jefferson would do something like that, but it's a little bit more deeper within her psyche that it's something to think about. He straight up said that his power, that their powers affect their emotions and vice versa. And in addition to that, you gotta remember too, pre-episode 1, all we knew about Black Lightning's exploits is he fought thugs on the street and white people. And that was bad enough for Lynn. Now they're dealing with the government, other metas, fucking vampires for some reason.
Markovian.
Exactly. So of course she probably like, I need this big ass glass of wine that was comically huge. Like,
that was a fucking fish
like, why did you even took the bottle?
She could have bathed in that thing. But since you brought up Markovian for the comic book part,
boom. Shit, man. Woo! They are shoving Markovia down our throat now, and I'm loving it. Like, I didn't think we would ever get this much into that realm. Like, just give us the outsiders. Just hurry up and give us the outsiders. And also, like, great choice in the comic books. So, shout out to the fact that we saw a Supergirl comic book, a Black Lightning comic book. I peeped a Damage comic book, but nobody cares about that.
Nobody gives a shit about that.
And a Thunder comic book. But DC, you foul, because you've never made a Thunder comic book ever, and I want one. A lot of people have probably wanted one for years, and we've never had a Thunder comic book. You need to get on it. I don't want fake-ass covers. I want the real shit. As a matter of fact, where's Thunder in the DC Universe comics right now?
Speaking of Thunder, I didn't want her to catch the L like this.
Anissa, she's been wilding. Mm-hmm. She's been wilding these past few episodes. Pretty much the whole season. Mm-hmm. And we've been alluding to somebody's gonna give her the business to bring her back down.
But it shouldn't be Johnny Rand.
Yeah.
But I got something to say.
Well, hold on a second. So she goes in, this lady comes abused to her office, and she goes to get some get back for her. Now, all good and dandy, she holds him up, smacks him around, say who's your daddy and all that good stuff. On her way out, this is actually a pretty crunk fight scene because she's handling them. I only think she was using powers at one point.
She was.
It was pure skill. The baseball bat twerk. She did a backflip, and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. But it was
pulled out that gun and was like,
it was a glitch in the Matrix. Because they started working her ass, and I was like, no, not like this. I know I've been asking for it.
not like this.
Yeah. Not like this. Not like this.
So I want to say something about that. Got a question. Why does she keep doing this and out of her Thunder persona?
Well, here's the deal. One, she doesn't want to taint the persona that she has with her dad, which I understand. Mm-hmm. But you remember, Jefferson was the same way. So it took her, and you know, it's like that whole do as I say, not as I do. But this is what it took for her to finally realize. Because when she was on the stairs and Gamby came down, she was like, this is what my dad was talking about. Mm-hmm. This is what he's been warning me. I've been doing everything he said that can get me killed, and tonight I almost died. Mm-hmm. So she needed to go through this.
And plus, Black, like, after the first time she did that, if she had done that as Thunder, Black Lightning would have stopped her.
All right, so before we leave Wally World, I know we just talked about Thunder and all that stuff, but y'all catch my man roll up. My man rolled up the caddy with the cat. That was a BFG, wasn't it?
It was a BFG. You know what I call him Murtaugh. You know why? Because he's too old for the shit. He's just rolled up and he's like, I don't tussle. I don't fight. I'm too old for that shit. Boom.
So the ASA is planning on moving the pod kids, and they need Dr. Jace, and she suggested they also have Lynn because they work well together. Sure, whatever. Comedic relief.
We need a hug.
I don't know. She might like the slapping.
She probably might. It's the only thing in lesser field. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be working with the pod kids, moving them around. I have a theory that this is going to get back to, Tobias already knows.
Well, wait, aren't the pod, so I know they're going to move the pod kids, but I got a question. So, are there two sets of pods?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's probably like 8, I think, pod kids left up there, and then there's 4 pods that were in the community center.
But the pods in the community center was the soldiers that were frozen.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So, can I just say something about Dr. J? And we joked about this off screen. Why does she always walk around with her hands in her pockets looking like a white woman shopping at Marshall's?
She knows about finding the best deal.
Yeah. And then and I want to know, has her actress been on like soap operas? Because whenever in the scene where Bill Duke came in and they were having a conversation, like her paranoid white woman is hilarious. Like, what? Oh shit!
Antonio is coming to kill us. They tried the Markovians. They tried to run up on Perena.
Oh hell yeah!
They didn't realize that she was Charles Xavier. And she don't play that punk shit.
Okay, was that the Markovians that tried to get her?
Yeah, that's Markovians.
Okay, now we have to ask why.
Well, even still, because even though it's late at night and she's just skipping through the hood.
She's like, do, making my way downtown.
And then they get out of her 1990s ice cream van style and tried to grab her, and she was like, no. Stop it. Stop.
And not once does she ever go to Gamby or Jefferson for like
you know they died, right?
Probably.
You know,
So you remember that episode of X-Men where they went to Mordok tunnels and it was that old lady that was like when she went up to Wolverine, she was like covered in scorpions. Like she literally did that. So
but as the Wu-Tang Clan told us, she ain't nothing to fuck with.
All right. So of course we gotta wrap it up with Jen and her emotions as it relates to Khalil and Nelly Jr. I guess we call him Khalil now.
Okay.
So
I'm a little torn.
He earned his name.
I'm a little torn about this. One, he did attack the school, so I'm kind of surprised. But then after Jennifer explained it, she was like, look, he was taken advantage of. This is probably why he did it.
He lived in the hood.
He ran out of options and he ran to the best one. Mm-hmm. So I did like that explanation because it gave me more closure on Khalil than I initially had. Mm-hmm. Now, the biggest struggle I have is with the principal.
Okay, hold on. Before we get on that, I just want to say, like, Jennifer, you went back to school, and on your first day, you all up in drama already. Like, did you have to make a dramatic show out of it? You got to sit in front of the memorial. Like, just go to science and shut up.
Before we get off of Jen, I just want to, I haven't said this yet. Do y'all notice how much she look like Android 17?
Yeah.
She wears like baggy pants.
Get the hair. Oh, and one more thing about Jen. Where was your homegirl? Your best friend that ran on you when you got jumped.
But I'm actually proud of her for standing up because like the school has been through so much, and they don't have a leader guiding this ship. And I'm glad
Mike Lowry is a bitch.
And I'm so glad that when the principal came in and he brought his goons in to get rid of her. And that Jefferson just walked in and was like, I'm proud of these students for what they're doing. Oh, by the way, it ain't my problem.
So, Mike Lowry, we got more insight into Mike and his white man pain, and I don't feel sorry for him.
It was clearly...
My mom was a meth addict and I ate dog shit.
Like, I would have said that out loud. For one thing, A, B, no, he didn't. It was too dramatic. It was such a fucking lie. And here's the thing about that. Even if he did go through some tragedy or something like that, one, that's not the way you get people on your side. Two, you still don't get it because you're not trying to understand the student.
I get, okay, and I'll say this. Everything he went through, I agree that he went through completely. What he's upset about is that he's like, okay, because I am who I am and the color that I am, I'm constantly dismissed. And he was tired of it. He was like, I'm sick of everybody willing to understand the problems of people who don't look like me. And because I am who I am, there's this perceived notion that, well, fuck me.
Fair enough, but that doesn't give him the right to take it out on other people.
Understandable.
No. And that's the problem, that not just people like him, that would not involving just people like him, but you see it in the nerd community, in the fandoms, you see it everywhere. This is the reason why a lot of these communities and shit like that become toxic, because you have people like him with, instead of turning their pain or tragedy into something positive, they take it out on other people.
But from his perspective, I kind of see what he's saying, but at the same time he's going around it. It's like he's like, I had to make it here without any support. Why did support? Why do I have to support him? I don't agree with all what he's saying, but this is his whole personal pain manifesting, and he's just trying to look out for himself. So
at the end of the day, hurt people will hurt other people.
Yeah, hurt people hurt people.
All right, we're gonna move on to another plot that's ramping up. Grace.
We're getting so much closer to the outsiders, people. Grace's tattoos were showing up. Oh, I wanted to smack Jennifer. I'm on this because I was like, you saw her meta out in front of you. All you got to do was pull to the bushes like, girl, I got the super straight.
Was it me or was the whole freedom going through the park happy? Was that a little too tacked on for you guys?
No.
It showed that it had to be there because it showed how good of a position their relationship was currently going.
They had a lot of things like that in today's episode.
But it had to show this piece so that it could juxtapose it to the fact that she just left it. So now Anissa is sitting there like, what is it that I could have possibly done to ruin this relationship? Even though she's ruined all her past ones with being out in the streets, she was actually loyal to Grace, and she was like, I thought I did everything perfectly.
Grace, she bounced, she grabbed some clothes, she dipped out, and we'll just have to see how this comes, like I said, come to a head later on. All right, last thing we want to talk about, Tobias and Einstein. Wiz Kid, comes in and to give Tobias an update on what's going on and everything. And Tobias has this look on his face, and I want to talk about that look for a moment because he's, everything is cool. They got a cool relationship. He does what he's supposed to do. He does what he's told. Mm-hmm. He gets results. Mm-hmm. And in the back of Tobias,
like he had a problem. With
I think Tobias just thinks very hard, and he tries to think ahead a lot. So it's a thing when it comes to like power dynamics. He's doing a good job, but sometimes you just don't go above and beyond when it comes to a person like Tobias. He gets a little suspicious. So that's just a little lesson I want to throw out there on how this may affect his character in the future.
Well, here's the thing. Tobias, even though he puts on his front, we all know that he rules by fear. But it's kind of hard to come at the kid sideways when he ain't doing nothing wrong. It's like you want to kind of whoop him.
But he can't rule him by fear.
Exactly. He's like, he's doing everything I told him. Mm-hmm. But he's not, so he has no reason to be afraid of me.
But it shows a little character flaw about Tobias that he only, like, if it doesn't work, if the things don't work the way that he's used to, then he
kind of throws him off.
Yeah, he's kind of ineffective, and it's like no one ever taught him how to be versatile, I guess is the right word.
Mm-hmm. Like, he's smart, but he's also, like you say, ruled by fear, and
he's one-dimensional.
It's like he expects everything to fail around him, and he's looking at the genius kid like he's gonna fuck up, and I'm trying to prepare for it, but the shoe ain't dropped yet.
I almost see it more so as maybe this kid is too smart.
Well, because
the kid knows stuff that Tobias doesn't, and I think that worries him. All right, so last thing I want to wrap up with this. They got the 4 pods. They're very close to open them up. We know that these are Markovians in these pods. We know that they were agents, soldiers, whatever. And yeah, you got some stuff.
Did they confirm that they were Markovians?
I believe they said that they were Markovians.
Because I heard them say that they were ASA agents.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So. Okay, sorry.
Okay, well then I want to double down on my theory that they're members of the 4th of July. Because in the comics, the 4th of July was part of the ASA.
Okay.
And which we later discovered, the comic book guy, the ASA, comic book accurate.
Yes.
So the writers know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, all in all, very excited about this episode. Next week, Jan's gonna, not stay put like she's told, and try to go get some revenge. And we already know Tobias knows that Jefferson is Black Lightning.
And apparently, Jen is gonna be Blackbird too.
And let's not forget Bill Duke watching Jennifer too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm waiting for? Bill Dukes versus Gabby. All right, people.
Yeah, Gabby hasn't shot anybody in a minute.
I know him.
I'm sorry, that happened. Gabby gonna die.
So yeah, join us next week. I think this was a good episode. We'll be back next week to do another review of Black Lightning. Till then, peace out.
Yeah.